Round one, we're on the draw, I think, and we're going to keep this hand. We got the Wayfinder. Even though we don't have our our colors, we got we have all of our ramps, surprisingly. So kind of on the hunt for some fatties, I guess. But the removal and the Wayfinder definitely make it keepable. I guess Meteorite's kind of a removal too, so technically a couple removal spells in hand. Typhoid Rats, all right. I'll tolerate that. All right, one of our fatties. Nice. Black green. All right. No 2-drop. That's always nice. Buy us a little time. All right, another green source. Hopefully we can find red or black here. There's our red. Okay. Lost a couple of good spells, but we're still in pretty good shape, I would think. Getting the other color there is kind of nice. Obviously, I don't want to lose the Kurd Chieftain. I love that card, but that's all right. Living Totem? That's my guess. Hmm. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's see here. Oh, got our own Living Totem. Oh, let's see. If I Verdant Haven now, take a little bit of damage, but I think ultimately it's better because then we get the Rhino next turn. So let's go ahead and just Verdant Haven it up right now. Gain some life, get some fixing, ramp into our 5-drops. We'll also have Meteorite online next turn. I don't know if that matters yet, but we'll find out. All right, let's just go ahead and drop the Charging Rhino here. No land drop from our opponent of note. Definitely want to note that. All right, let's get the Rhino out. Seems like what we want here. Bouncing the living totem. Alright. That makes sense. I'd attack with the rats if I was him. I'm glad he didn't. That was a good draw, since now we're kind of rewarded for, I don't know, if anything goes screwy with our draws, we've got all the resources and got the means to find more. But I kind of want to leave up Lightning Strike this turn, mostly because I want to see what he tries to buff with the living totem so I can kill it in response. Because if it's like invasive species, I want to be able to kill it. I could Meteorite his Typhoid Rats this turn, but I think I'd rather get a timely Lightning Strike. So I think the plan is, currently we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resources. I can play a Verdant Haven on an untapped forest, leave up Lightning Strike. Or I can just play Living Totem, buff my Wayfinder or Charging Rhino, maybe Charging Rhino, and then leave up. Let's do that. I'm going to buff my Charging Rhino, leave up Lightning Strike. I wonder if I could have, let's see, Verdant Haven, then had 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I think I was just one short of being able to play Verdant Haven, play Living Totem using Wayfinder to Convoke, and leave up Lightning Strike. I think I was one short. I might be wrong. If I did, then I didn't maximize, but that's okay. So we'll pass here. We've got such a great late game plan that I'm not in a big rush. So now he's going to Convoke out Living Totem. Let's see what he tries to buff so I can kill it. I presume he's going to buff the species, but I guess we'll find out. Because then on my turn I'd like to Meteorite his Typhoid Rats and start going to town on him a little bit. So that's going to be resolving. You're going to choose, yeah, so we'll get our little Lightning Strike in response here. Alright, so play our land. We're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can play Meteorite, kill Typhoid Rats, and play Verdant Haven. Right? Yeah. Or I can play Verdant Haven and play Meteorite. Does the same thing, doesn't it? 3 resources there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, either way, it is essentially the same thing. I think if I do Verdenhaven first, I'm actually left with an untapped meteorite, but I'm not sure that matters. Get in with our Rhino. And we're well into Garrick, Siege Worm, all the goodies territory right now. Alright, it's pretty good. I guess we'll double block the bear. Kind of sucks, but it's alright. Did he not shift the order correctly? I think he might have screwed that up. Killed our wayfinder instead of our totem, which would be nice. He didn't shift these around. He did. So he did it incorrectly, which is excellent news for us. We traded a bear for a wayfinder. A pumped bear for a wayfinder, no less. Alright, understandably drew a land, which we're not going to play. That's kind of weird. And now we chill out. Alright. Tolerable. Not thrilled about it, but it's alright. Just need to find some bombs. Alright, let's ditch the red source. Alright, so living totem here actually seems great on our other living totem. since it lets him block some of the incoming traffic here. It doesn't really do me, well, actually, yeah, it does do me a benefit to buff the Rhino. Well, no, it doesn't, because he can only block with one dude anyway. So it actually is great benefit to buff our Living Totem and then just attack with the Rhino. He can only single block it anyway, so I think it's the wisest move. I should have actually just waited until post-combat, presumably, but he can only block with one dude anyway, so I don't really care. Yes, I would like to use that ability. Charging Rhino's ability, surprisingly relevant here. Could have Gather Courage, I guess, but I felt like if he had Gather Courage, he would have used it last turn. Could have just drawn it, I guess, but we'll see. Just taking it. All right. Can't block it. All right. It's pretty good against us. Currently can't block it or anything. Let's see here. Torch Fiend. Let's ditch this forest, see if we can't find something better. Satyr Wayfinder. Kind of don't want to, I don't need any more lands, and I don't want to ditch any more dudes. Torch Fiend doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Let's just get in with our Charging Rhino again. I guess we need all the creatures we can get in case I find some way to do an alpha attack, so I guess I'll play them both. Actually, I'd probably rather just ditch a Wayfinder to it. To be honest, I'd rather just ditch it to a Rummaging Goblin the next turn. You know? Let's just get rid of it, find something better. Torch Fiend at least kind of attacks and is utility enough where it could be useful. We're on a 2-turn clock, so we're in a little bit of trouble, but that's all right. Hopefully he forgets to give it flying. That'd be convenient. Nope, he didn't forget. All right. Let's, well, can't block, so I guess we go to 6. No plays. 1 card left. So if I swing with team, he blocks my biggest dude, blocks my next biggest dude. He only takes 5, so let's ditch the Evolving Wilds instead of the Wayfinder. See if we can't find something. Well, Siege Worm is something. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too little too late. Well, I guess I have no choice. It would appear that we are dead. I'm trying to think of sideboard options. I guess we have a plummet, but it's pretty rare that I've lost to Shadowcloak before, but it's not very common. This guy's really draining his clock too, I feel like. I mean, at this point, we were like a Titanic growth away from winning. Honestly, we were. So we had outs this whole time. I better not play anything more. I don't need to reveal any more information. We're definitely dead. I don't have any artifact creatures, I think, to block the Accursed Spirit, which it would have been nice, I guess. A Bronze Sable or a Willforged Golem or something. So that was a close game, just short of victory, I would say. I think if we'd seen the Siege Worm maybe a turn or two earlier, it would have been a different story, but that's all right. Didn't get there. Let's try game 2 here. So we've got Plummet maybe for his dude. I'm not sure if that's worth it. Nothing else seems crazy good against him. Flesh to Dust, but I guess that game I would have had no problem casting it, but I don't know if I can bank on that every time. Let's just go ahead and try this again and see if we can't find our fatty McFattersons a little bit quicker. Could try Hot Soup, I guess. He didn't have any damage spells, right? And he's got Typhoid Rats. You know, this might be a little job for the Hot Soup. I mean, he totally beat us because he evaded past us and we couldn't evade past him. That is the exact reason why we lost, so makes sense in my mind. I almost like the crowd's favor more than the Titanic growth because of the Typhoid Rats, but Hot Soup with the Titanic growth is going to be better. Let's ditch. Yeah, I think it's one of those that gets the axe, so let's ditch the crowd's favor since the Titanic growth has better interaction with the Hot Soup, I think. Crowd's favor is better against the Typhoid Rats, but that's all right. So we'll try it like this, see if we can't get it to work out a little bit better for us. We'll play first, see if we can't get a keeper. I think we better mulligan that. This hand will keep. Rummaging Goblin, admittedly, not the most exciting card to have this on the Mulda 6. Alright, he gets some ramp. We could have used some Elvish Mystics. Instead, we went the Verdant Haven route. And Meteorite. Alright, I think we got to open with the Rummaging Goblin because I don't want to ditch any of my... I don't want to have to return a land for invasive species, basically. Alright, I think because he's got the aggressive start, I'm a little more apt to want to do the invasive species, despite the fact that I'm going to have to bounce a land. Well, I guess that helps a lot too. Alright, change of plans. Rummaging Goblin. Next turn we'll do the totem, buffing the Goblin. And then after that we can get the species and get the totem back, get some extra value. I think you get the routine. Alright, can tolerate that. Take our damage. He's getting a hell of a turn progression here. 4 spells by turn 3. That could be an issue. Or turn 4, I guess. Spell every turn is not exactly what you want when you had to mulligan. Know what I'm saying? Alright, land's actually a pretty welcome draw. So now we can buff our Rummaging Goblin so I can at least trade with the... Yes. Typhoid Rats if I have to. Otherwise, having some blockers is pretty nice. Can't really use the Goblin yet since I need all of these cards in my hand for fixing and buffing. At least I have an out for the Accursed Spirit. Currently do not have an out for the Shadowcloak Vamp. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Alright, that's a big problem, so I'm going to have to find an answer to that, or else that's going to kill us. Guess I'll bust out the Rhino. Alright, so now I don't think we have a legitimate out to Shadowcloak Vamp. If we draw a Lightning Strike, and I can do Lightning Strike plus, I don't know. I think we're probably going to lose to Shadowcloak Vamp. I'm trying to think of a legitimate way to beat it. If I draw Lightning Strike and I can play Meteorite and Lightning Strike on one turn, I can play 2 spells to kill it. I think that's my one shot. Unfortunately, Shadowcloak Vamp ending me is pretty disappointing since it's really not that great of a card. So, we have to draw a Lightning Strike land. Do I have life gain in here? I can't even think of any life gain. So I guess the Plummet was the right sideboard choice. I just figured one card in his deck. I didn't need it, but apparently Shadowcloak Vamp ends me. Our opponent had an amazing turn progression this game too, so I don't know what to say about it. We had to mulligan. Our opponent had an amazing turn progression. What can you do? Guess we'll Wayfinder. Titanic Growth and Verdant Haven. Guess we can take the Evolving Wilds to find our swamp. Play the Evolving Wilds. Play Invasive Species Bouncing Totem. Let's get in with Rhino. So my outs, Garrick, Lightning Strike. Hot Soup. At least I could get in on him, to be honest. That would actually be of some value. Garrick would be the ideal one. Not quite. So he's got 5 definitely coming in, and then I have to block 4 dudes, so I can only take 1. Yeah. Well, I guess I can kill the bear. Or probably the Shaman of Spring, I guess. Attacks with team. I can block the 3 biggest and just take 6. So in that case, I guess we might as well get the totem out. And we'll buff our invasive species, I guess. Can't attack with Rhino, unfortunately. I need all my blockers. I'm just buffing the invasive species, so I guess, I don't know, I can block a little bit better if he attacks with everything. But at this point, I'm just playing to a Garrick out. I think that's my best. It's my best out. That's all I got. All right, played to my outs. They didn't come. I lost. Pretty self-explanatory. See you around 2.